41-year-old Jamie Allen went missing on May 28, 2022, from Harahan, Louisiana. On the night she disappeared, Jamie's car was found on River Road after a minor car accident. Her vehicle was still at the scene, showing no signs of a severe crash or a struggle. It looked as if Jamie had simply stepped away from it, but she never returned. Investigators immediately began trying to understand what happened after she left the accident site. No witnesses saw her walk away, and no one reported picking her up. The area around River Road includes levee access, industrial pockets, and dimly lit stretches, but none of those locations produced any sign of her. Officers searched the immediate surroundings, but the darkness and terrain made it difficult to determine which direction she might have taken. Around 2:00 a.m. on May 29th, the investigation shifted several miles away. Some of Jamie's belongings, including her purse and cell phone, were found on a bike path along the levee near Williams Road in Canner. The items were intact and placed together, not scattered. There were no footprints, no signs of struggle, and no indication of where she went after that point. Detectives reviewed her phone records, hoping for a clue. There were no outgoing calls or messages after the accident, and nothing showing that she had arranged to meet anyone. Surveillance cameras in the surrounding areas were checked, but none captured Jamie after she left the crash site. Without video or digital evidence, investigators struggled to confirm whether she traveled alone or encountered someone along the way. Drones and boats were used in certain sections, but nothing led to Jamie. Investigators interviewed people who had seen her earlier that day, but no one reported anything unusual. As days turned into weeks, investigators revisited both the accident site and the levee path. They hoped a new perspective or a fresh tilt might reveal something overlooked. They considered the possibility that Jamie became disoriented after the crash, but the distance between the two locations raised more questions than answers. They also explored whether another person could have been involved, but no evidence supported that theory. Jamie's family has never believed she walked away on her own. She had no history of leaving without warning, and she stayed closely connected to the people she loved. She checked in regularly, maintained steady routines, and had responsibilities she cared deeply about. Her sudden disappearance didn't align with who she was. If you have any information about the disappearance of Jamie Allen, please contact the Harahan Police Department. 25-year-old Tamika Anderson went missing on February 23, 2010, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, after stopping at an ATM. She withdrew $1,000, money she planned to use to buy a car from a man in the Galvez area. She spoke to several people on the phone as she drove, but she never arrived and has never been seen again. The investigation into Tamika's disappearance began at the last place she was seen, the ATM at Telco Federal Credit Union on Telco Boulevard. Surveillance footage showed that she appeared calm, she wasn't being followed, and nothing in the footage suggested danger. Investigators attempted to track Tamika's phone, but the search produced nothing unusual. There were no pings, no tower hits, and no location data that could place her anywhere along the route towards Galvez. The phone simply went silent, leaving detectives without the digital trail they had hoped for. Her vehicle was never recovered either, and the complete absence of her car became one of the most troubling elements of the case, suggesting that whatever happened to Tamika occurred quickly, quietly, and without leaving behind the kind of physical evidence investigators rely on. Detectives also focused on the man Tamika planned to meet, the individual who was supposedly selling the car, but the public case file offers almost nothing about him. There is no confirmed description, no documented interview, and no clear indication of whether he was ever located or questioned. The absence of information surrounding this meeting created one of the most significant gaps in the investigation, leaving open the possibility that the planned car purchase was legitimate, misunderstood, or far more concerning. Without witnesses, surveillance, or verifiable details about the seller, investigators were left with a lead that never developed into anything concrete. For Tamika's family, the days after her disappearance became a blur of phone calls, searches, and unanswered questions. What kept them going was the certainty that she would never have walked away from her children, a belief that turned their search into something deeper than hope. It became a responsibility and a promise to bring her home. If you have any information about the disappearance of Tamika Anderson, please contact the Baton Rouge Police Department. "31-year-old Sky Angers was reported missing on January 4th, 2021 from Lafayette, Louisiana. She was 7 months pregnant at the time, expecting a baby girl in April. Despite the instability in her life, Sky still made plans with her family. On the day she disappeared, she called home and said she was coming over for dinner. She never arrived, and that call became the last confirmed moment anyone heard her voice. On January 4th, Sky was last seen on South Beadle Street in Lafayette. It's an area that she knew well and a place that she passed through often, where people in the neighborhood recognized her. That final sighting on South Beadle Street is the last confirmed point in her timeline. Her trail ends there, being the final verified location before she vanished. In the days after Sky's disappearance, her family heard a devastating rumor that she had died of an overdose and that her body had been dumped. The story spread quickly through the community, but investigators were never able to confirm that theory. For her family, the rumor created a painful tension: the fear that she might be gone, and the reality that nothing had ever been proven. Detectives began the work at the last place Sky was seen. They canvassed the area around South Beadle Street, speaking with residents and individuals who were known to be in the area on the day she vanished. They checked shelters, hospitals, and locations where Sky had been known to stay. Every lead was documented and followed, but none of them brought investigators closer to understanding where she went after that final sighting. Investigators reviewed her known contacts, checked for any digital activity, and looked for anyone who might have seen her after January 4th. But nothing surfaced. Her trail ended abruptly with no clear direction to follow. Sky's family members remembers her laugh and how she always tried to stay connected even when life pulled her in different directions. They talk about the excitement she had for her baby girl. Those memories and the love that they have for her is what keeps them searching, hoping to find answers to her disappearance. If you have any information about the disappearance of Sky Angers, please contact the Lafayette Police Department.